So do you want to be an unstoppable force of good in this world? Do you want to be somebody that other people can rely on? Oh, that person, they're so good, they're so kind, they're always giving and they're always creating such magnificent solutions to the problems in this world. If you want to be that kind of person reliably, day in and day out for yourself and for your friends and family, for your community, for your causes, then let's talk about this. There's a very simple way of going about this to get massive results, to create huge change in this world, and it's really not that complicated. So let's get into it already. Welcome back to Whole Goals. My name is Andrew Love, and it is my job, as I see it, to help you reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul so that you can become an unstoppable force of change in this world. Now, I've gone into a bunch of different videos into how you can reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul, but I haven't really talked about this macro statement that I make, which is to become an unstoppable force of change in this world. And that's what I want to get into because I've been on a bunch of calls helping different people lately, and this theme keeps on coming up. You see, we overcomplicate things all the time. We look at the world, we see so many problems, we say they're insurmountable because they're so big. We're talking about the climate changing, we're talking about politics, we're talking about religion, we're talking about the education system. And when you look at the world like that, of course, you're gonna be crushed by the weight of the problems. But I'm gonna teach you two main things that will allow you to automatically reclaim your power, know how you fit in, and create massive change starting within yourself and cascading outward towards the world. And the point is this: if you remember anything, just know that it is simple. It is simple. Everything godly, everything beautiful is simple. Simple, elegant solutions to complex problems are exactly what this world needs. And you can be yourself the embodiment of a simple, elegant solution to many complex problems in this world if you just follow these two simple steps. It's simple. Let me say it again. It's simple. Just remember this. Let this be your mantra. It is simple. So the first thing is this: you need to get yourself into an into a heightened state before you try to solve any problems. And I'm really not talking about drugs. I'm really not talking about getting something from outside of yourself to create a high form of functionality. That's actually the opposite of what I'm talking about. You see, all that drugs, alcohol, all this external stimuli is inducing chemicals that are already within you. And if you learn the tricks through breathing, through meditation, through prayer, exercise, through understanding which foods to eat and in which order, if you spend the time to learn what your mind, body, heart, and soul needs and when it needs it, then you can be living essentially in a heightened state. This is especially important when you want to solve a problem. You cannot solve a problem if you're stuck at the level of the problem. The problem's here and you're here. You'll just be bashing into it. You'll just be trying to punch your way through a concrete wall. It's not gonna work. What you need to do is to rise above the problem and get into a heightened state of awareness to see the problem from a bird's eye view, and then all of a sudden solutions start flowing to you like crazy. You see, heaven or high spirituality is accessible to us at all times. We just need to remember to connect to it. And again, I personally do it through stopping, meditating. I try to do this a few times a day, especially if I'm struggling. Because if I'm struggling with a problem, if I'm trying to make a video and there's technical problems, or I'm helping somebody and they're just not getting it, the more I try to force a solution to the problem, the more problems I then create. This is why politics are not working, education, religion, all the systems that we know are not working, because we're trying to solve problems at the level that they were created. All solutions exist in a higher place, so you need to get yourself into a higher state of mind. So one thing that I really recommend is making sure that before you do any work, before you have a deep conversation, before you go deep into thought about finding a solution to a problem, first allow yourself to plug in to all the solutions. You see, the solutions aren't in your brain, they're out here, they're in some sort of frequency, and you need to get to that frequency. You need to get into a heightened state to be able to receive. Einstein was purported to have a lot of his best ideas in his state between wake and sleep. So what he would do is he would get into a chair and he would hold two metal balls in his hand, and so when he was about to fall asleep, he'd drop those balls and those would wake him up, and that's when he would have all of his best ideas come to him. There's also a Japanese inventor, I forget his name, he holds over 100 patents. He created the taximeter and a bunch of other random inventions. What he did, and I do not recommend this, do not do this, but this is what he would do, is he would put himself in a vat of water, a giant tub of water, and he would drown himself. And while he passed out, he'd obviously have some way, either like a friend or somebody, to revive him, to take him out of the pool. But while he was in that state between life and death, he would come up with all of his inventions. So the point is this: you need to get out of your head, out of the limited state of your heart, and plug into the cosmos to first get high. So get into a high state first and then do everything else afterwards. Don't ever attack a problem at the level of the problem. Always rise above from a heightened state of awareness and then attack a problem, and you will notice that the problem seems much smaller and you seem much bigger. The second tip is to always seek for the opportunity in the problem. Amidst the chaos, always seek for opportunity. If you look at the pandemic, there are some people that are freaking out, that are glued to the television. They're wanting to know what's the worst case scenario, and they're letting that dictate their mental and emotional state, and from that place, they are non-productive. They're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. But there are other people who are looking for the opportunity in this time. When the world is reshaping and reshifting, there's plenty of opportunities for whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your life. During this time of the pandemic, when the world was shut down, our family was on the vacation destination of the world. We were in Bali for an entire year, living it up, having the greatest time of our life. And it was because we were constantly seeking for the opportunity, and it's not always easy to find. My wife and I prayed a lot together to figure out what should our next move be. And when you're looking at life like a chessboard, if you just impulsively live and move, and you're gonna get yourself into a jam. And it really requires you to look and not just see the next move, but to look at the next few moves, to see things from a wider perspective. And you cannot do that from your limited mind and your limited emotions. You have to rise above that, and again, you do that through getting into a heightened state. But when you're looking for opportunities as a priority, when you are actively seeking out opportunities in all situations, you will find them. You'll be able to see what nobody else sees. You'll be able to have the best ideas. You'll end up in really fun situations because nobody else is looking for those opportunities. They're just staring at the problem. The other thing is, you will not be able to see these opportunities when you're in a panic-stricken state. When you're in a form of fight or flight, your mind shrivels, your heart shrivels, and you're just trying to survive. And that's where most people are most of the time, because of the foods they eat, the amount of sleep and quality of sleep that they get, because of their lack of spiritual connection, and just basically because they're ingesting the wrong forms of media that are telling them to be afraid. But rather, if you choose the right foods, right mental, spiritual, emotional diet for yourself, all of a sudden you'll be in a receptive mode for the opportunities in any form that you're looking. So that's really it. Get high before you do anything. And remember, I'm not talking about drugs here, kids. Get high before you do anything. And the second thing is, always seek after opportunities. If you live like that, within a week, you will have the most amazing experiences you've ever had, because you're allowing God, you're allowing the cosmos to work in your life in amazing ways. So please test it out. Test it out for the next 7 days. Don't do anything important before you get into a heightened state. So in life, seek after opportunities, but only after you get into a heightened state, and your life will be fundamentally different. I hope this video was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will get back to you. Please subscribe if you like these videos. Tell your friends. I want this information to get far and wide so that we can all start to evolve into a much better state as a human race. It's been nice. I'll see you in the next video.